in the United States is the National Suicide Hotline, but you could call or text 988. But right now I wanted to talk about just a few of the reasons why some people die by suicide while others do not. And again, what I'm going to read here, I want you to think of these almost like protective factors, because these are things that we all can develop. Well, these are just some of the reasons why some people die by suicide while others do not. Number one, resilience and coping skills. Individuals with strong resilience and effective coping skills are better equipped to handle life stresses and traumas. That's just like that's just how it goes. Individuals with strong resilience and effective coping skills are better equipped to handle life stressors and traumas. Positive coping mechanisms, social support, and past experiences of overcoming adversity. The good thing about this is all of us can develop effective coping skills. If our coping skills, the current coping skills, are not pushing us towards the goals that we need to meet in life, or not pushing us towards greater emotional health or spiritual health, then we need to take a look at our coping skills and maybe tweak them. So coping skills, resiliency, these are all things that we can learn. Okay, but there are some people who just have better coping skills. They've developed it. They were born that way. And some people are just more resilient. So we do know that. But all of us can work on developing coping skills and becoming more resilient. So why some people die by suicide while others do not? Resilience and coping skills. And this doesn't mean that individuals who did die by suicide didn't have any of these either. We're just pointing out some of the things that we can work on, the protective factors that we can develop as a buffer, as a protective factor against those negative things. As we talked about in the other broadcast, that there are protective factors, those things that protect us, that buffer against the negative things that's going on in our life. So resilience and coping skills. Support systems. Having a robust network of friends, family, and community can provide emotional and practical assistance for us during crisis. So having that support system is important. That support system could be 1 or 2, it could be 5 or 6, whatever it looks like, whatever that means to you. Having a support system is important because it can help you when you need it the most. Number 3, access to mental health care. Early and ongoing access to mental health care can prevent the escalation of suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Number 4, biological and genetic factors. Genetics can influence the predisposition to mental health conditions and the body's response to stress. Family history of mental illness and individual biological responses. Again, just because a person may have a predisposition to depression, a predisposition because of genetics, bipolar, doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be diagnosed with bipolar. Okay? Culture and religious beliefs. Culture and religious beliefs can provide a sense of purpose, hope, and community. Again, we're talking about buffers. Why some people die by suicide and why others do not. When you look at the people who do not die by suicide or individuals who thought about it and decided not to do it, we can look at there's certain factors, there's certain things that they had built in around them, certain protective factors. So this is all we're talking about here, because all of these things are things that we can all develop. Culture and religious beliefs, okay, can provide a sense of purpose, hope, and community, which can deter suicidal thoughts, which can challenge the depression. Personality traits. Traits such as optimism, adaptability, and problem-solving skills can protect against suicidal behavior. Some people are just more optimistic. Some people are better at problem-solving than others. Some people are more adaptable than others. Again, these are all things that we can learn. Previous experiences. Some people are able to look at, okay, I had a situation like this before and I was able to overcome it. I'm going to be able to overcome this. Okay? Perception of control. A belief in one's ability to influence outcomes in their life can reduce feelings of hopelessness. So when I feel like that I'm in control, that I'm not caught up in a learned hopelessness, that I can do something about what I'm dealing with, that's also a good factor. Socioeconomic status. When you have access to finances, to means, that can all be a barrier. Intervention and prevention efforts. Effective intervention strategies such as crisis hotlines, therapy, and community programs can all save lives. So when we're looking at, as I'm talking about here, 10 things that act as buffers. Okay, why do some people die by suicide while others do not? Some people have protective factors. There are certain protective factors. There are certain buffers that some people have that other people do not, but we can all develop. We can all develop effective coping skills. We can work on our coping skills. We can all work on our support systems. We can all work towards better mental health. Okay, these are all things that we can work towards, right? We can work towards being aware of what is my genetic predisposition and then working towards that. Getting support, getting therapy, getting counseling, being around positive people. Things that we could all do. And it doesn't have to be 100 positive people. It can only be one, okay? But again, when we talk about like a freight train, our thoughts, think of it like a freight train. Choo, 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 choo. Okay? We a freight train, negative thoughts. I'll never be able to make it. Choo, nobody loves me. And then when we know about depression, it's not just a thought thing, it's a feeling thing, it's a genetic thing, it's a chemical imbalance thing. So I'm already feeling drained, and I'm dealing with all of this stuff that's just piling down on top of me. Finances, I lost my job, nobody cares about me, right? Life, I just feel like I can't go on. Depression is like a freight train. Thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Choo, 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 choo. And I start thinking about all of these things. I'm dealing with illness. Choo, 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 choo. I'm dealing with finances. Choo, 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 choo. Now I'm dealing with, like I said, the untreated mental illness. When you have a train going down, you need something to stop it, right? We need something to stop it, right? We need something to stop these negative thoughts. These thoughts that say, I'm not going to be able to make it, I'm just going to end it all. We need something to stop it. The thoughts that say, nobody loves me, no one cares, we need something to stop it. What can stop it? What can stop it? Support system. What can stop it? Other people, okay, can stop it. What can stop it? Effective mental health treatment can stop it. Right? So again, what can deal with the hopelessness? Someone challenging those negative thoughts. Because when you're caught up in your depression, when we're caught up in our sadness and our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that are telling us that we're not going to make it, that we won't, may as well end it all, we're not thinking clearly at that particular moment. Because all we're caught up in are the feelings. And you need something to come in and intercept those thoughts. We need something to come in and intercept those feelings, right? And that interception, like I said, can be a faith-based community. It can be friends. It can be a thought, someone else. Because we need someone to challenge those thoughts. At that particular moment when a person chooses to die by suicide, it's not really they feel like there's no option at that particular moment. You feel like, I've done everything, hopelessness, you've tried, and that's it. And you don't even have the energy or the strength. But I'm here to let you know that hope is always an option. Hope is always an option. Yes, you knew about what happened last year, the trauma that you endured, the abuse that you endured. Yes, you lost your job. Yes, you've been diagnosed with an illness. Yes, you're feeling lonely, like no one cares. But I want you to know that hope is always an option, right? There's always a next, right? There's a next day. There's a next second. There's a next minute. Right? And you owe it to yourself. What do you mean you owe it to yourself? You owe it to yourself. Because think about all the hell that you've gone through. Think about all the trauma, all the abuse, all the things that you've gone through. You owe it to yourself to see what's on the other side. What's on the other side? How do you get to the other side? You get to the other side by allowing people to help you. Right? By allowing people to come in and support you. 988. You get to the other side by, coming up with a plan, coming up with a strategy. There's always a plan. There's always a strategy for what you're dealing with. At this particular moment, you may not feel like it because you don't feel like it. Depression is tiring. It's tiring. It takes a lot out of you, right? So you don't feel like getting up out of bed. You don't feel like eating. You don't feel like taking a shower. It's not just a thought thing. It's a feeling thing. Thoughts, feelings, and behaviors all go together. So I get that. But when I'm telling you that we cannot let hopelessness win, okay? We cannot let, feeling like I'm a failure win. We can't let these negative thoughts, these negative feelings win. There is a way out, right? If someone else they have a way out, then I have to find a way out. There has to be a strategy. There's a key. The key could be the right medications. The key could be the right therapy. Many times when we're talking about dealing with depression or a lot of the illnesses that are chronic, medication is going to be a big part of it. It's not going to be just therapy. Medications will be a big part of it, right? So again, there's a key. People. I don't like people. No, people are important. Now it's important to get the right person. As I said before, some of you are upset because, well, my family, they don't care. And I said before, it's not that they don't care, they may really be tired because they don't know what else to do. But again, not going to let that be an excuse. We're not going to put all of our eggs in one basket as far as with one person. Your mother, father, the people you're talking to, they may not know what to say. They may not know what to do. They may be giving you sound advice or sound support, but you may not have the energy to process it, right? So again, don't get upset with them. What you do, that means you need to find the right person. You may need several people to help you through this. So again, there's always a way out. There's always a strategy, right? When we're looking at trauma and abuse, our substance abuse, all of these things can add to our feelings of depression and trigger thoughts of dying by suicide. When we're feeling hopeless, when we have an untreated or poorly treated mental health disorder, when we're using substances, right? When we're socially isolated, when we have relationship issues, when we're dealing with a chronic or an acute long-term mental or illness, right? All of these things are things that can trigger thoughts of suicide or thoughts of making us think that we should die by suicide. But there are other things that can protect us from that, which can kind of decrease those feelings. And again, those are support systems, working on our coping skills, working on building a community, right? Working on talking to our doctors or getting on the right medications or talking to whether it's a counselor or whether it's a psychiatrist, a clinical social worker, your pastor, your rabbi, whoever it is finding the right person. But I want you to know there is a way out. There are many people who are dealing with poorly treated and untreated mental illnesses, and once they get the help, the right help, you'd be surprised, right? How their whole countenance has changed. So there is hope out there. I've worked with people. I'm thinking of one in particular. Thoughts of suicide. For years, and then he was on the psych ward with us, and he was on the psych ward for a long period of time, and we didn't think that he would ever, it looked like wow, this might be one of those cases. But I'm telling you, once it took time, but once he got the right support, the right treatment, and then really start looking at the things that were what's happening in his life, and came up with the right plan, he was able to move forward. Some of you need to pull out a pen or paper and think about, okay, what is the situation that's causing me anxiety right now? What is the situation that's causing me stress, that's causing me to feel depressed or causing me to feel sad? And begin to list it. And then think about, okay, what can I do about it? What can I do about this? Begin to problem solve. And you may say, well, I don't know what I can do. Well, what you can do if you don't know what to do, call 988, the National Suicide Hotline, or reach out to someone who can help you work through that list. Because some of you, you're just, your issue, it may be finances. Your issue may be relationships, okay? And you may have to make some hard decisions. You may make some hard choices. But then for other people, it may really not, it may be more of a mental, maybe more of a psychological, all right? So again, there is a strategy, there's a way out. Pull out a pen or paper. What can I do about what I'm dealing with? And is there something I can do about it? Some of the things we're dealing with, we can't do anything about. But those things that we can, we want to come up with a plan and begin to work towards them. So again, when we talk about death by suicide is final, right? When a person dies by suicide, at that particular moment, they feel like there's no option. They feel like they've done all that they can do. It is up to us to do what we can to spread the word, to let people know there's help out there. There are other options out there. 988. Because many of you may not know what to say. But many of you are more of a helper than you really think you are. Because when a person is dealing with depression, or they're dealing with suicide, thoughts of suicide at that moment, and all they have is you are up for the job. You are the man or the woman for the job at that particular moment until they can get to the help that they need. Because a lot of times, it's not about having a professional help at that moment. It's having somebody who cares. It's having somebody who will listen. It's having someone who can ask you to help them problem solve at that particular moment until you can get them the help that they need. I always tell people it's okay to ask someone, are you thinking about killing yourself? Ask them straight out and not be afraid of what they say. Because many times they may say, yeah, I've been thinking about it. And you start having that conversation. Well, how would you do it? Do you have a plan? And they may say, yeah, I've been thinking about it. Things are hard, but I would never do it. And as you guys talk, you realize you can help problem solve. And then there are situations where you may ask them and you realize you have to get somebody else on the phone to help them. But again, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to listen. You don't have to have all of the answers. You don't have to have any of the answers. Sometimes it's just giving out a